Howdy, welcome back to the farm. This is a dead tree, and it's been on the ground for years and years, but you can see right here, that's a bunch of wood chips also. So what I do is I take an axe and I smash it all to bits, and then I take a shovel it into a bucket, and then I carry it around to put wood chips on all of my trees. Today's tour is going to include some more conventional types of crops. So if you notice right here, I've already got some corn coming up. That corn is not the only thing that I have planted. I'm doing the Three Sisters method in these rows. These rows are pretty much inspired by the JM Fortier method of raised beds. So this spring I scraped out the rows where a lot of naturally occurring compost and microorganisms grow, and I just piled it right back on top of the rows again after first having done a chop and drop. You can see I got quite a few corn sprouts coming up all over the place. There's also beans and squash in here, and that's going to start popping up. There's a little squash. It's about to pop up right there. You can see I don't have any beans popping up yet in this area, but there's a good bean coming up right there. So this area is going to run the Three Sisters method on the two outside rows. And this interior row right here is all potatoes. Potatoes I dug not too deep, about 3.5 to 4 inches deep on average. Dropped the potatoes in there and then covered it up. Also, I did a chop and drop on it. You can even see where last year's turnips that I let go to, some of them I just let them go to seed. They've already volunteered and popped right back up over the winter. So those guys are pretty hardy, and every year that you allow a seed to fall into the dirt where it was parented, it'll have a little bit more intelligence about how to adapt to those conditions. So guys, I promised you I was going to show you the transplants this week. There is a blackberry that's been transplanted, got the wood chips all around the edges. Here is a blueberry that's been transplanted. You can see some of them, they're maybe a week away from ripe. Apple tree has been transplanted. Some of the leaves got beat down on the trip up here, but it's already coming back like gangbusters. Obviously, you want to put a lot of wood chips around that as well. When you transplant, try to make sure you go twice as deep as the pot is, so that it has potential to get a good root start. The peach tree has gone in. Once again, plenty of that wood chipped stuff all around the edges. So you can see some of the other stuff that I've started is doing pretty good. Plums are doing pretty good. They've already had a flush of flowers and then a little bit of fruit set. Wasn't expecting a bunch of fruit to set in the first year. Guys, here is an older fig tree that I had planted years ago, and that was propagated from a stem. So now it should start taking off over the next 2 or 3 years. let's go have a look at a couple more transplants that I said I was going to show you. In this area, got a row of mulberries. You can see the new mulberries coming in. So here's one of the mulberries right here, the taller one that I transplanted. And plenty of wood chips around the bottom. And then the shorter red mulberry that I transplanted. Same kind of scenario. And finally, trying to cultivate some muscadines here in this area. These are a native grape. They're called muscadines. Quite a few of them in Texas. They usually end up in a forest scenario, ripening way up high, 25, 30 feet high in the air on the tops of trees. So by making this vine hang down and wrap around this old stump, I'm able to reach some and harvest them. Well, I hope everybody is having an awesome day and that you're with your family in these difficult times. But if you're all alone, thanks for sharing a few minutes with me.